First of all, OTM stands for Only the Mob.
Police say these 7 men are members of 2 gangs, the OTM and the 1100. Shooting between the two started in April and ended in September. There were 9 shootings in that time.
When he see me, he gonna want to me, so therefore.
Case, prosecutors used evidence mostly through drone, body camera, and surveillance videos. Prosecutors said that Chambers was a member of Only the Mob, or the OTM gang.
The grand jurors charge and accuse Jerry Chambers with the offense of violation of Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. On the 5th day of July 2017, while associated with the criminal street gang,
the rapper, whose real name is Taekwon Bowman, is part of a 49-count indictment that names 18 other people.
Hey yo, squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man. When you hear the neighborhood of Savannah, Georgia mentioned these days, there's one name that comes to mind, the rapper Quando Rondo, the man unanimously known for his involvement in the situation that led to the Chirac legend King Von losing his life via Lil Tim. If you know the background of their life, you won't be surprised how things played out. They are both from the Savannah gang known as OTM, aka Only the Mob. In the streets and in law enforcement, they're known as ruthless and responsible for the fear and terror causing paranoia in the citizens with the trail of bodies and gruesomeness in their beefs. But is their reign of alleged over, with Quando Rondo and core members being indicted? We gonna find out. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. The streets of Savannah, Georgia raised OTM, but even more, they raised one of their most widely known members, Quando Rondo. Coming up, he didn't have the easiest childhood. Mom was on dope, Pops was in prison. He eventually fell in with the thugs and the gang members and actually became a product of his environment after he himself got into criminal deeds and built up a rap sheet that could be published into a book.
Since I wanted to be a thug so hard, now I'm hanging around niggas who really thugging this shit to the point where I want to do this shit so much, I ended up turning into this shit. Now ain't no way out. Nigga, I just say, me and Curly beefing, I shot at Curly the other day.
The messed up thing is, bro had talent with rapping and singing since he was a jit and dreamed of being in that life, but things just went downhill. But he still used his circumstances to his advantage and leveled up his talent in juvie. And when he got out, he was channeling the streets into his music, telling life like it was. Looked like clear skies was ahead. He linked up with one of Louisiana's major rappers, NBA Youngboy, and was signed to his label.
We got 2 members to the NBA family here.
Yeah, I'm NBA. Youngboy, the reason I'm where I'm at right now.
It was up, but them streets was still lurking, and being a roller 60s Crip from the past followed him everywhere he went. Worse yet, he wasn't just a Crip, but a part of the set that had law enforcement on their toes trying to get control of the crime wave in Savannah. They are notoriously known as OTM, aka OTM, and Quando never shied away from repping his set and letting it be known his right-hand man, Lil Tim, will stand on business for OTM. These boys are allegedly ain't nothing to mess with. In Savannah, their name has grown to be something to fear, not only for citizens, but their ops. And that will become known to the world on July 5th, 2017, when a trail of bloodshed led cops' suspicion to somebody from the OTM gang. Surveillance footage showed how reckless OTM members could be when a white SUV slowly pulled up on Jefferson Street in downtown Savannah. The place is busy, packed with people and vehicles, but they spotted an op and wasn't going to let no casualties stop them from catching a body. As they approached the corner, a hand could have been seen extending, sending people running, especially somebody in a white shirt who appeared to be the target being shot at. It was pandemonium. The dude looked like he was just injured by the way he was wobbling when trying to run to escape. Everybody was scattering before the vehicle sped off and a ton of police swarmed the scene. Of course, they weren't going to let that slide, so a high-speed chase got on the way, but them OTF boys was quick with it until they wasn't. The driver would lose control of the whip and slam into a pole, ending the lives of 2 of the 3 OTM affiliates in the vehicle, 20-year-old Gabriel and 17-year-old Spencer Stuckey. Police body cam shows the moment they apprehended the sole survivor, Jerry Chambers, who miraculously was still alive in the smashed up vehicle.
Sides did rest their case. Prosecutors used evidence mostly through drone, body camera, and surveillance videos.
News would break that the general manager, Scott Waldrop, of the Savannah restaurant, The Gray, also lost his life when he was hit by the SUV while Jerry and them was doing the race from the cops. Reports state that Scott was a real one, sacrificing his own life to push other pedestrians out of the way.
Trial Chambers was going about 77 miles per hour with headlights off. Just before the SUV crashed, witnesses told police pedestrian Scott Waldrop pushed other bystanders to safety before he was hit and
So now Jerry was in a pickle. He was arrested and facing hell with the law. And boy, did it place a bigger target on OTM's back to get them off the streets. 3 bodies dropped and more injured.
Ends with tragedy in Savannah, Georgia. A police chase ended with a deadly crash overnight. 3 people were killed in a pileup. 4 others were also injured in the incident. Police say the chase started after shots were fired from an
All of that to leave 2 of his ops with holes but still alive. But OTM only concern is about the mob. Anybody else can get it. Authorities made no hesitation to let it be known that bro was OTM and they've been terrorizing the streets for too long.
It said that Chambers was a member of only the mob or the OTM gang.
Jerry will be facing 14 criminal charges from the incident and in 2020 was found guilty of 10 charges and sentenced to life in prison.
To that verdict, literally minutes ago, they said that of those 14 criminal charges, Jerry Chambers is guilty of 10, including 3 counts of felony, reckless driving, and homicide.
OTM was now in the spotlight. Citizens were growing tired of the hold that they had on the city, but the bloodshed wouldn't stop there. One of their main ops, the 1100 gang, who was alleged to be the ones they upped the poll on, wasn't going to just sit back and be made a fool of. On the other hand, the cops wasn't going to sit back and let their rivalry cause more terror either. Even if one of the OTM survivors, Spencer Stuckey's mom, would do an interview saying OTM wasn't a gang, but they were a family that helped out each other.
Only the mob is a family, it's not a gang.
What is a family then?
A family.
So a community of people who do life together.
They do everything together. They got each other back. If something was to happen, maybe they'll go help each other out on something. He may need a ride, he may need money, he may need food, he may need clothes, where to sleep at. That's a family.
Just a couple of months after OTM members bust that 1100 gang members, the feud continued. Reports state that on September 13th on 34th Street and B Road, 2 groups were exchanging gunfire with each other in the area that night. An 18-year-old by the name of Arafi Williams was struck during the exchange and was fatally injured. Reports would state that less than 12 hours after the shooting occurred, investigators identified Tanavion Johnson, aka Tay. Savannah Chatham police went on to say investigators determined that Williams was in the area with Johnson at the time of the shooting and exchanging fire with the other group. Johnson was arrested and charged with 1 count of felony hit and 3 counts of aggravated assault. Further investigations revealed Johnson was allegedly responsible for 3 ops getting injured: Roderick Matthews, Calvin Morris, and Ebony Matthews from a motor vehicle. The beef was growing more fatal every day. Not even a week later, another body dropped. According to reports, around 1:20 a.m. on September 17th, officers responded to a local hospital in reference to a male shooter, later identified as Jaheim Morris, who arrived by private vehicle with life-threatening injuries. Official court documents of the homicide revealed that Jaheim Morrison had been driven to the hospital in a private car, which had a bullet hole in one of its doors. The other occupants of the car were Maxwell Washington and 2 others. Police searched them for weapons and recovered a handgun from Maxwell and a revolver and a pistol from Washington.
New tonight, 4 are now charged in the of another teen that happened a year ago. 3 of them are in custody. 1 is still wanted. Here.
Now it turns out that Jaheim, aka Heem, wasn't a regular teen, but a member of a gang known as 2X or 2 Times. Now this is how it's all connected to savages known as OTM. So 2 Time is said to be a collective, the crew's 1100 gang and VBS, aka Villa Boy Soldiers, both of which are ops to OTM. 1100 affiliate in Savannah, Georgia rapper Hunch Reese is seen repping Heem on his shirt in honor of his fallen homie, but it would only take time before he himself was caught lacking by OTM and put on a shirt. For that, authorities were put on a trail to end the trail of gruesomeness, and in September 2018, news broke that they scooped up 7 members of OTM and 1100 on a 64-count indictment, with claims referring to up to 5 homicides caused by the gang Feud.
Now, the Chatham County Grand Jury charges and accuses Chambers and 5 others of being members of street gangs responsible for those 3 gangs and 2 others in 2017. Of the 64 counts in the indictment, 27 are gang charges. Chambers faces 2 aggravated assault charges in addition to charges for shooting 2 people in City Market before that fatal police chase and crash.
The indictment brought a lot of things to light, revealing that Tanavion Tay Johnson, who was said to have murked Rafi Williams and spraying down 3 ops in OTM, and accused Yusef Maxwell, Zanique Maxwell, and Taquarius Washington and Kason Dixon of being members of the 1100 Block Gang, who was charged in connection with the 2017 September homicide of their own affiliate, Jaheim Heem Morris. Reports state that they were in the whip busting at ops with Heem, but he got hit by friendly fire in the process. It was a war like the streets had never seen. OTM was going head to head with not only one, but a coalition and showing no signs of backing down. The indictment didn't faze the feud. OTM was still out looking for blood, and on January 1st, 2019, Tyrese Carter, aka Huncho Reese, who was repping Heem on his shirt, was sent to join him. According to reports, his family says that he was scheduled to perform at a New Year's bash for the youths at a Crayola cafe, but the ops were lurking and slid on him, catching a body.
Fire on your face.
Tammy Evans says she remembers her son for his music and jokes he would always pull on her. When she heard he had been shot, she couldn't believe it.
Not only that, but they were ruthless enough to post a vid online of him laid out, followed by a caption with 11K in it. You know what that K mean? Quando Rondo would stand on business for a set, later releasing the diss track Purple Baby, where he raps about burning on Purple Baby deceased ops, and even has the ops pack in the music video. Quando Rondo was making it known, if you go against OTM, then it's up.
We smoke we smoke
OTM was doing damage, allegedly, and they had one of the biggest rappers out of Savannah repping their set. The problem with that was that it also made them a bigger target, and before the ops could get their revenge, the cops got it first in early 2023 when they came for the neck of the entire gang in an indictment where Quando Rondo was also scooped up.
The rapper, whose real name is Taekwon Bowman, is part of a 49-count indictment that names 18 other people. Bowman is facing 4 felony charges this morning. He's accused of running the Rolling 60s gang here in Savannah, buying and illegally using a cell phone.
Quando would drop $100K on bond and be back on the streets.
Right now, Savannah rapper Quando Rondo is out of jail after a judge granted him bond this morning. You might remember the rapper was indicted on gang and charges. WJCL 22 News' Brooke Butler got a hold of the bond order. She joins us now live from our newsroom tonight. And Brooke, the judge set his bond at $100,000.
The cops were trying to pin him as the big cheese. It looked like for a second that OTM would pull through with Quando being back outside, but the law wasn't done coming for him. After being arrested months earlier on state charges of dope and gang activity, he was arrested on December 8th during a traffic stop around midnight Friday. According to reports, the federal indictments, which were unsealed, show Quando being accused of 1 count in a 14-count federal indictment. He is accused of being part of a conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute and to distribute controlled illegal substances. With him, they gunning for the other members of the alleged gang, as well as criminal counts that range from a dope conspiracy, dope distribution, weapons, and robbery charges. OTM was causing a ruckus and moving up the ranks in the streets and the music industry, with the man that's become the face of the one who caused one of the most devious savages from the rack to be slain. But with members in jail, dead, and now facing the full force of the law with more than one indictment, how will the cards play out in the future? One key thing stands out thus far in the gang war. All of these bodies and persons charged for those bodies are all teenagers. It's sad when this is the cycle they're trapped in without even realizing there's no winner no matter how much you up the score. RIP to all of those that lost their life in this gang war, man, even the innocent bystander victims.